Hello, everybody. I hope all is well. My name is Demetra Kane. I'm sitting here with Donovan, a recovering Democrat Saadiq, also known as the Black Yule Brenner. And the purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to keep make us an even better people with the emphasis on even, because we're great people, but we can always strive to do better. Like to say a big giant thank you, hello, and welcome to YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation, but you're not just the other side of the conversation. You are family, and sometimes I share the link. If I share the link and your profile looks like this, please show me this. Then you can go back to that if you're not comfortable. Just know that if I've never seen you on here before, especially, I must absolutely see your face, because sometimes people like to come on here and play games. I don't know if I'll share it today because of what I'm going to talk about, and I'll get into that in just a second. But just know that also, not only in the comment section, let's be as respectful as possible, because I know sometimes things get heated. It's not that we disagree, it's how we disagree. Same thing here on the panel. Who do we have on here so far? I know it's early. Brother Don, how you doing? One Who Cares, Clifford, Troy, Brother Samuel, hope you're doing well. I also like to give some special instruction to my dear beloved moderators today. If you see people in the comment section with the foolishness, please block them. Please block them right off the bat. And I'll tell y'all why in just a second. But normally I tell y'all not to block people, give them a chance. But today I'm telling you to block them right off the rip, because I'm just not gonna be with the foolishness today. So anyway, dear self, how you doing? Michelle W, what's going on with you? All right, so before I give it to Donovan, I just want to say this. We are going to be having a conversation about Carmelo Anthony. Of course, we talked about it last Friday. I took the post down, the video on YouTube and Facebook, because I had a post up on TikTok, and a certain demographic got in their feelings about it, and TikTok ended up taking it down. It wasn't y'all know me, I don't really be doing too much like that, but I guess for whatever reason they got in their feelings about it, so they took it down. So I didn't want to chance it on the other ones as well. Not that I was saying anything bad, but today I'm just gonna keep the conversation on Carmelo Anthony, and again I'll get into that in just a little bit. But as I was saying, y'all, the moderators, if y'all see people up in here with the foolishness, please block them. We're not going to put up with them. We're not going to appease people. I'm getting in their feelings, because first of all, we ain't talking to them. Okay. We talking to us. We're not talking to them. Okay. Nobody's telling them to come over here and say nothing, to do nothing, none of that. So if you see them over here and if they get just froggy just a little bit, I want you to leap on the block button. Anyway, Donovan.
All right. It is three.
Brother Thunder. Who else? I'm sorry. Gary Mack, Percy 540, CG. How you doing? Or GC rather. Hope you're doing well. All right.
All right, guys. It's 3:00 here in California, so that means it's Demetra K time. Hey, we really appreciate you guys taking the time to come spend with us on this Sunday. I know there's a lot of things happening in the world that you guys can be doing, so don't think that we do not appreciate to have these great conversations. But do me a favor, if you guys want to continue to donate to the program to have these great conversations, there's a scrolling banner at the bottom there. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, cash, money orders, however you guys want to do it. It is greatly appreciated. It keeps the content creator motivated to have these great conversations. Also, don't forget to download the African Diaspora News Channel app. You can get it on Apple Play, Google Store, download it. The subscription for a year is probably the best bet if you want to save money. The annual subscription is a great way to do it. So Apple Store, Google Play, go ahead and download that and enjoy. When you're sitting in traffic, it's a great way to do that. You can also buy subscriptions. You can do that, and it's a great gift to give knowledge, to know what's going on all around the African diaspora, and to let people know what Demetra's talking about during the week and stuff like that. Also, if you download the African Diaspora News app, you not only get Demetra K, Vicky Dillard, and Brother Phil Scott, and a whole bunch of other contributors there. You get content that you might not necessarily see on the YouTube algorithm. So that's another reason to do it. Also, guys, don't forget about the Black Expo coming up. Demetra K, African Diaspora News Channel, Tidra Moses, Marsha Ambrosia as performers are going to be there. A great way to meet with Demetra K, your brother Phil Scott, ask questions and see what's going on. So check out Demetra K's page on Facebook. Check out my page on Facebook, and we are posting there where you get the information. So it's going to be a great conversation. I just want to add this, because this is a serious thing. I did hear about it, but it's kind of funny how the universe works, Demetra, because the same situation, when this situation happened, for those of you guys that don't know, Carmelo Anthony has been given a nod for the Hall of Fame. So a lot of people are getting kind of confused with Carmelo Anthony, the basketball player, and this young man. And I'm just going to say, in regards to Carmelo Anthony, I believe he is a prolific scorer, but at the same time, if there was just an NBA Hall of Fame, I wouldn't put him in there because, again, he never made it to the finals or the championships or anything. That's another story. But again, this is a serious thing, so let's get with it. Also, don't forget to subscribe and add to some of our moderators in the chat. If you have a page and you want people to subscribe and follow, please put follow me in the chat and the link, and we'll get people to go over there. Want to give a big shout out to Roland's Reviews. She was giving the business today. If you guys haven't checked that out, go over there. That's another page you guys can go and check out. She was dropping some knowledge over there. I go over there, and I am just thankful that the diaspora, that we are all talking about pretty much the same. We have the same goal, but we're talking about different angles and aspects that we can do. And Roland was on it this today. So I would strongly recommend, after you see this show, if you haven't seen her show, go over there and check out her page.
Absolutely, and 100%. Please, if y'all have a page I want to have followed, please put that in the comment section. Say follow me, follow me, follow me, so that we can follow each other. So again, to the moderators, please, again, if you see people up in here acting crazy, block them. I won't say a word. You just block them. And I'm on my end. I might see the comment still. If you guys block and erase it, so I try to do my best to let you guys just completely do what you need to do. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. Praying for Alicia, how you doing? Okay, so as you guys may or may not know, I'll just give it a brief explanation. Last week, it was a situation that happened at a high school in Frisco, Texas, where a football player by the name of Austin Metcalf, unfortunately, was shanked to death by that of, and I'll say allegedly, right? Carmelo Anthony, that's the name of the student. It sounds like they're 16 and 17. It happened at a track meet where I guess the details are still trying to come out. But it sounds like Austin, and he's white, asked Carmelo, to get up, and he didn't. And, sounds like Austin put his hands on him. And then that's when the knife was brandished. And from that point, Carmelo was arrested. Sounds like he's on $1 million bond. I've heard some reports saying they gave him no bond, but the last one I saw was $1 million bond. Okay. Now, there's been a couple of GoFundMe's put up for Carmelo, but GoFundMe, I guess, took it down because y'all know why they took it down. Okay. There's been a lot of complaints. And I guess per GoFundMe's policy, you can't raise money for that kind of stuff, from what I understand. But there's another one, and I'll put it up here, and I also pinned the link in YouTube, a comment section. It's Give, Send, Go. So that's the site that they're using now. As of the time that I got this, which was about 30 minutes ago, that's how much has been raised. That's how much is being asked. So they're asking for $100,000. But they've raised so far, about 93,000. Give, probably more so at this point. And at the bottom, it says campaign created by the Anthony family. Now, I also understand there was some other bogus ones kind of flying around, but they got that situated. And this sounds like this is the one. So if you guys want to donate, and I think that you should, I can't tell you what to do. I did. I think that we should. So I'm going to leave this up here for a minute. Now, the reason I want to talk about this, and I'm not going to even really get too much more into the other aspects of it, because it has turned very racial, very ugly, very nasty. Even though Austin's father said that he did not want this politicized, he did not want this to be a racial thing, but unfortunately, people are making it into that. So I won't do that today. But my problem in our situation is with us. When I say us, I mean us as, Black Americans. And that's why I said we got to learn how to walk the talk, because when it's on the other side of the fence, they raise money like that. There's no problem. They can raise money. In fact, the other Austin's family, sounds like his mom has a GoFundMe, and she's raised almost $100,000, and the dad has one. He's raised over $200,000. So between the both, and I don't know why they both have one. I don't know what the deal is on that, but they've gotten over $300,000 just like that. But we, for whatever reason, are still struggling to raise $100,000. There's a lot of us, and listen, I know there's some of us that don't believe that Carmelo is innocent. I've seen some people who look like us, trying to send the brother up the river, for lack of better words. But there's enough of us to where this shouldn't even be an issue, where we shouldn't even be having to talk about getting to $100,000 for this kid who may or may not be guilty. Okay. From what it sounds like, he's not. But again, you got to play it out. But they tell us too in America, you're innocent until proven guilty. But of course, when you look like Carmelo, it's the other way around. Now, I was thinking about this case earlier, and I've been thinking about it since it happened. And, I have a lot of heightened emotions about it. But as I was thinking about his case, George Stinney came to my mind. Now, and I'm going to take this down, y'all, because I know I'm buffering a little bit. George Stinney came to my mind. Now, some of y'all may have heard the name George Stinney. Maybe some of you haven't. But George Stinney was, I think it's 14, 15 at the time, 1944. He was electrocuted. I think it's by the state of Georgia. He was accused of doing some things that he did not do to 3 white girls. And, they just didn't even bother to even do any investigation or anything like that. He's the first and the youngest to be electrocuted here in the United States, from what I understand. And when they tried to do it, they had to sit him on a stack of Bibles. And the thing that they put on top of your head was too big rather. So they had to do a lot of finagling to take his life. Now, of course, we know almost 100 years later at this point, I think it was the Obama administration posthumously pardoned him. Mind you, he's already deceased, right? But they pardoned him, said, oh, he didn't do it. And so the reason why I said that George Stinney's case comes to mind is because we're kind of seeing a little bit of that play out with Carmelo Anthony, in that the media is complicit in, writing these narratives about him. Them folks are complicit in making these narratives about him. You know what I mean? When in the same situation, the same vein, if it was the other way around, they were defending themselves and this, that, and the other. But when it comes to us, not so much. You're guilty, right? That's the sentiment. And so the other thing I think that we should keep in mind too is, and I tell my, the young men that I know, my nephews and things like that, you're not a black boy in this society. You are seen as a black man, even though you are chronologically a black boy. They don't see you as a boy. They see you as a man. And as my brother Walter always says, a black man just waking up in the morning is a threat. And he doesn't even have to do anything, no matter how he dresses, what he says, or anything. He's considered a threat. So when you think about somebody like Carmelo Anthony, who hasn't even gone to court, had a trial, or any of that other stuff, a lot of people don't even care about the evidence. They only care about, they put the sanitized version of the other kid up, and I don't need to tell y'all that. I'm preaching to the choir at this point. Sanitized version of him. And of course, they put up the version of Carmelo, pictures that they found all over the internet that they could twist and, make these narratives out of. And they put his mug shot up and all that other stuff. So, of course, y'all see where I'm going with that. And when I say they, I mean the media's done this. The media, the regular schmegler media, mind you, this is also the media that was in the bag for Kamala. I'll leave her out of this after this, but I just want y'all to get the point of the things that they do in shaping narratives, especially when it comes to us. So this conversation is really for us as to why is it taking us so long to raise $100,000 for this kid. See, because we do a lot of talking. We do a lot of thumb thugging, and I'm gonna get to y'all comments. We do a lot of thumb thugging on the internet. We do a lot of rah-rah and woofing and all kind of stuff going back and forth for people. But as the old people used to say, put your money where your mouth is. I mean, shut your mouth, dig in your pocket. Let's make it do what it do. That's what that means. That means you could talk all you want to, but what results is it getting? Let his lawyer do all the talking. Let the people that's going to defend him do all the talking. But see, if we claim to be about and I'm just talking to Black Americans and everybody else, great. But I'm talking to Black Americans because we talk a lot of stuff. We talk a lot of stuff about this, that, but when it comes to passing the plate to help our own people, we're silent. We want to pass the buck, and we want to get on this thing called the internet and, and do a whole bunch of, banging your chest and stuff. But this kid needs money. And I'm not, listen, y'all don't want to, I'm not guilting anybody. I'm just speaking out loud at this point. I'm just speaking out loud because I've been watching this. A lot of people doing a lot of posting and talking, but yet he ain't got $100,000. All the money we give away in our community to the Arabs, the Asians, Hispanic, everybody else gets our money. Let a holiday drop. I bet you on Juneteenth, if we still get that, not that we care from the federal government, we're going to go spend a whole lot of money on something we was already doing. That these white corporations going to get more than $100,000 from us. They're going to get more, and they're going to get into the millions from us. But this kid is fighting an uphill battle, and yet we can't raise $100,000. We should have had that in the minute that GoFundMe or whatever it is, the Go Pray Send or whatever it is, Go Send, Give, Send, Go went up. It should have been a done deal. It should be over that by now. So I want to have a conversation with y'all. Why is it taking us so long? And why are we always bumping our gums instead of, putting our money where our mouth is? I'm going to be quiet if I end up getting in trouble. Donovan, I'm going to get to y'all comments.
Well, I see your passion and your frustration that you bring this up, but you already know the answer, Demetra. Just like our co-hosts here, we all know the answer. We all know and the answer is crabs in a basket mentality. Crabs in a basket. We take all of our money for foolishness and doing what makes us feel good. And like I said, I'm not trying to Bible thump here for anybody, but the modern Sodom and Gomorrah, the last days, if you believe in that stuff, end days, it's actually taking place right now. When I was watching those little protests yesterday, they had a trans person, depending on what link you watch, but I watched this one where the trans person was saying trans is the future. We are living in a day of lunacy. And it's crazy. And I get the frustration because here's what I don't understand. And I'm not trying to make a joke out of this, but here's what I don't understand. Close the door. Close the door. I said, close the door. I said, close the door. This man could raise $40,000 in a super mega church or whatever it is. But like you said, it's frustrating. But yet this young man is having, he can't raise $100,000 in a couple of days since this incident has happened. But Marvin Sapp and all these prosperity pastors, and I'm not blaming them. I'm saying, look at our priorities. Look at our priorities. Our young people do not even have a future in this country because of old heads, them old niggas in the world of Jason Black, myself included, are not taking a stand to make sure that they can enjoy the American dream just like we did. These kids, the wealth is completely gone. And we're teaching these kids to go against their better interests. I got a question for you. How many of you guys heard history? Cory Booker, oh man, he made history. How does that change your life? The man talked for 25 something hours. How does that change your life? How does that put money in your pocket? The question you need to be asking yourself when Cory Booker is talking, whatever he talked about, was why do you have energy when it talks about going against what could benefit Black people, but when it's a Black issue, you ain't talking for no 25 hours. We have continually failed our children. Propaganda is very strong in our community. Fear-mongering is very strong in our community, and that is one of the biggest problems. Crab in a basket mentality. We're afraid. Oh, I ain't gonna get my money because, he probably guilty anyway. Well, why would you come to that conclusion? Why you come to that conclusion? Because you're one of those Negroes, and I don't mean to be disrespectful to anybody, but that is the proper term. You're probably one of those Negroes that takes all of your energy when you get summoned to jury duty to get out of it. Now, a couple of weeks ago, if you guys remember, I went to jury duty. And I go all the time. And once again, it was a Black man on trial. And Demetra could tell you, I was calling Demetra every day that I was, waiting to be selected. And I was telling Demetra, that man ain't got a chance. He ain't got a chance. Why? Because in this country, you're supposed to be judged by your peers. There are so many mechanisms in our justice system that favors the defendant. The burden of proof is on the government. Number one, you need a good lawyer, at least a lawyer, at least a lawyer. The outcome is always better when you have a lawyer. And you have a jury of your peers. Do you guys think OJ got off just because he had a crack defense team? 9 of the 12 jurors were black. 9 of the 12. The deck was stacked. And like I said, I'm not blaming these pastors, but these pastors could lead the sheep to stop DEI. And by the way, you guys heard that Ben Crump said that DEI was a scam that benefits white women, but he was out there leading the charge. And I got that from the African Diaspora News Channel. Dimitri K covered that. And Al Sharpton too was saying that the DEI is just a scam. We have a crab in the basket mentality. We take our money, we can buy Jordans, we can do this, we can do that. We are only thinking about today, and we're not thinking about our legacy and our future. If we do not stand up for these young people today, remember, these are the young people that are going to make decisions for us when we're old and gray. And I'm scared about that, because if they're not making it, do you think they're going to be worried about us making it in our old age? They're not.
Yeah, absolutely. And Donovan, you make a great point, about, not even just Marvin Sapp, but in general, he get up there and demand $40,000. I bet you and that sounds like he got it. From what I understand, he got it. So it's like, this thing is nationwide. I've seen any and everybody talking about this. And it's like, and I just look now. So he's at almost $97,000. From earlier was 93. So, hopefully by the time we leave here, he'll get it. But it just, it infuriates me. It really does. I don't get it. Our priorities. How you doing, Corey? Our priorities are really, really jacked up sometimes. Like I said, he's going to get a lawyer. And like Donovan said, OJ, he had the dream team. That's what they called him, the dream team. But money bought that dream team, So let the lawyers and the courts and all of that, everybody, that's in that realm decide that. But right now, we need to back that brother up, by making sure that he can get the best that money could buy, and all of that, and get him out of there, while they're trying to figure out what's going on. And, in my opinion, and I'm not a lawyer, they charge the brother too high. They charge him with, Capital One, and it's like, huh? So that's why I said we need to raise the money so the lawyers can do what they need to do. We could get the best lawyers that money could buy, whoever that is in our community. God, R.I.P. to Johnny Cochran. Anyway, Odie, how you doing? It says the black women who raised over $1 million for Kamala. Ooh, don't you get me started. Don't get me started. Ooh, don't get my blood pressure up. You should have never did it. Because I'm trying to, how the Tasmanian devil, when he get the rearing up, that's how I feel right now. But I ain't going to do the Tasmanian devil right now. But you know what, though? I'm gonna just let that rock and roll, and I'm going to read the rest of the comments. It's in case y'all you want something to read as I'm talking. Christopher Jones, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Jesse, how you doing? It says 14-year-old who was, executed in 1944, South Carolina. Thank you for the correction. I knew it was in the South somewhere. And I see y'all comments, but let me skip down to the bottom so I can catch up because I'm terribly behind. And okay, how you doing? It says Black Authority shout out. Okay. Let's see. Easy says them church bootlicks will not touch this one. Anything with racial component, that's they stray away from that. Yep. Double A, how you doing? Says they view our children as nobodies. Yeah, and worse than that, but I ain't gonna say it because I'm on here. Yeah, Roland, Corey is definitely a Democrat shield. He think we stupid. Ryan, how you doing? He says, I didn't know about the GoFundMe. So the GoFundMe is taken down, but there's another one. And I put the link in the description box on YouTube is pinned. But it says, but I just donated. I'm sending an email to my son so he can send to his friends. And I'm going to send to my best friend so she can get the word out. And that's what we need to be doing. I love and appreciate you for that. You also say, let's tag a few people that we know, text message our friends and families to help this baby. Absolutely. Brooklyn Best Eye, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. It says every time I go to jury duty, he said it's a black man and they got him on camera. Laugh out loud. If we're gonna commit a crime, can we at least be smart about it? Yeah. Faye, how you doing? Says I put money where my mouth is. Donate. Be quiet. Come on now. That's what I'm talking about. Mindful Moments. How you doing? He says there's none of our peers in California to say the least. Yeah, black people, a few far in between out there. Brother Samuel says we are taught to give the benefit and not give the benefit of the doubt because doubt is the mother of hypocrisy. Come on now. Let's see. Macman, how you doing? Says selfish and covetous indeed. And I see y'all comments, but I just want to skip down. Mr. Norris, how you doing? Says raise 1.5 million for Kamala in 24 hours. You're gonna make me mad. I'm about to do the Tasmanian devil. He says in another million 2 days later. I'm sending money now. Where to? I'm sick of us. So I pinned it in the comment section, but y'all gonna make me do the Tasmanian devil. Gonna make my hair come unpinned.
Yeah, I have a question for you, Dimitri, and for our co-hosts in the chat. We have all this black boulets that are lawyers and stuff like that, especially our ladies. I'm not trying to pick on y'all, but you guys are out there educated and all that other stuff you so-called claim. You mean to tell me that nobody wants to take this case pro bono? It's a national case. If you win or lose, that's not the issue. If I was a lawyer, I would just do it pro bono for the simple fact of the press and stuff that you're going to get. But all of our lawyers and stuff that are out there and nobody is volunteering their services to represent this young man, that's a damn shame.
Well, I've spoken to some people behind the scenes, and I know that there are people who are, in the mix. So he's not there by himself. There are people that's in the mix. But with anything, it takes money. It takes money, especially here in the United States of America, and especially if you black and you looking at something like that. Oh yeah, it take a lot of money because they got the media and they got a whole bunch of ways of disseminating information and making. And Malcolm X said it. They know how to make the innocent look guilty.
Right, the victim innocent and the innocent guilty. Yeah.
So well, that's what they have.
Yeah, because my question is this: we have all these lawyers. No matter where you're at in the country, there are, these young black lawyers. Jasmine Crockett is a lawyer. All these people that are lawyers and stuff like that. Why is it that in our community, the people that we know that are lawyers are not helping the community when our young people, even our older people, get into trouble? I'm not saying do it for free because, like you said, it does cost money. However, if I could raise $50,000 within my community to represent whatever, that a lawyer should step up. How many of you guys know Thurgood Marshall? He was a lawyer and he was fighting while Martin Luther King and all of them were fighting the civil rights movement. He was fighting on his side in the court cases. All those black lawyers were fighting in the court cases. But in our communities, we have people that we know that went to law school and all this other stuff. And yet when a person is in trouble, they won't even volunteer their time.
Yeah. So again, and I love and appreciate y'all that are donating to Carmelo Anthony's fund, because again, and I cannot stress this enough, we need to help them get lawyers, okay, so they can do all this. And I see a lot of us saying, we going back and forth with them online. Can I ask y'all a favor? Stop doing that. Stop getting your blood pressure up going back and forth with them. Stop doing it. There's nowhere ever that you're going to convince them of black worth. And it's not. Stop doing that. Stop arguing back and forth with them, because they're just wanting to bait somebody into some nonsense to validate how they feel, why they should be trying to rob somebody of due process, because that's what it is. He's entitled to due process. They don't want him to have that. I've seen the most heinous things online in regards to him. But again, I'm telling y'all, stop arguing with them. Stop doing it. Yeah, don't get the blood pressure up.
Yeah, and how many of you guys realize by them sensationalizing like this, using the press, they are already tainting the jury pool. They are already tainting the jury pool in the narrative that they are writing about.
Yeah, but again, that's why we need to get the money up. He should not have to go in there worried about how we gonna pay for these lawyers. None of that. It should already be paid in full, right? Because a lot of stuff, as we said, we give away the foolishness. all day long. Listen, I'm not trying to pocket watch, tell nobody how to spend their money, but my God, if we can't help our kids, then who are we willing to help? You know what I mean? Who are we willing to help? Again, them folks, they hop right too. It's not a question. And other thing too is, let's bring some of these celebrities into the fold. When Kyle Rittenhouse, was going on trial, you had all kind of celebrities donate money and giving money, and they were outspoken about him. Oh, he's a patriot, he's a hero, and all this other stuff. I ain't seen too many celebrities talk about it. I haven't seen any. And again, I'm not always online like that, so I'm not saying they're not. But we all need to just be involved. That's what I want to say. Let me get to the comment section. Let's see here. Cynthia, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Zenobi says, absolutely, why not? DJ Specs, how you doing? Says, yep, we have no more Johnny Cochran's. Lord have mercy. Mama T says, Jasmine too worried about them illegals. Come on now. You're right. Where is she? Has she tweeted about this at all? And like I said, this happened close to her. Frisco was closer to her than anybody. So has she tweeted about this? Or because she tweeted about everything else? You can see her on the Congress floor, calling Trump a 304 and Elon this and Governor, Greg Abbott. You see her saying all that other stuff, but I haven't heard anything about this coming out of her mouth. I could be wrong. I don't know. Dejan, how you doing? It says they don't want to lose the trinkets that they get from the white liberals. And I get it, but you're going to sell the children up the river in front of everybody to see? I know some of them do it behind closed doors, but in front of everybody, this kid shouldn't even, like I said, this shouldn't even be an issue. But it is. I'm going to see too in a minute where the money is. Daryl says, Kanye West, here is your chance to make an impact on the community and fight white supremacy. You know what? I totally agree with you. Scoop, how you doing? Says that young man stood on business as far as I'm concerned, predominantly white town. At 2 white bullies ran up on me, they gonna get that issue. Yeah, and again, that's what needs to be figured out in court. That's what the judicial system is for.
Well, I have a better question for you. Where is D.L. Hughley? Where is Steve Harvey? Where is Spike Lee? All of these Democratic shills that keep telling us the Democratic Party's for black people. I have a black child that is in need. Where's the Democratic Party? Where are all these shills that talk about Trump is so bad, he's so evil, he's this, right? And that's fine to believe that. But what is more evil than to leave a young child to the justice system of white supremacy? Where are these people at?
Yeah, I agree with you. Are they outspoken about it? Have they sent money? Like, what are we doing here? This is where it's time to really show how much you love black people. Like I said, and I'm not going to do the Tasmanian devil, but Kamala announced that she was running. Y'all was all, now y'all them. All in. We all in. We gonna get on this Zoom, calling these phone calls, and we gonna raise up all this money. And you ran around bragging about how much money you raised in the record amount of time and all this other stuff for a woman who was telling black people no, for a woman who wasn't hardly even talking about black people until she had to at the very end, to a woman who did all she could to keep black people incarcerated in California and a whole host of other things. Wasn't even talking about being a black woman until she ran for president. Y'all raised, now y'all them, all that money for her. And she wasn't talking about helping. And she said, no, I'm not going to do nothing that just benefits black people. And y'all ran and told y'all behinds to go and give her $1 million plus. Huh. That's as mad as I'm going to get about that. Hey, Dano, how you doing? Brother Don said that's why they put him on the bench to take him out the game. Okay. Easy says, Calling Country, Texas. He said he's going to need all the best he could get. Yeah. Hey, Barzilla, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Michelle said, I was arguing with those fools and my blood was boiling. They have already convicted that young man. Well, they don't have the last say so, though. They online. It's spewing the stuff they spew. That's why I said stop arguing with them. Like, at some point in time, we got to say, you know what? I've got a lot of satisfaction, but I ain't going to give it to you. You know what I mean? Stop giving your satisfaction to everybody. Everybody don't deserve your satisfaction. That's one thing I learned to stop doing a long time ago. Stop arguing with people I don't know, especially fools, especially people that you cannot convince. Like, I'd rather have a V8. There's a whole lot of things I'd rather be doing than be online arguing with people I don't know, So, let's see here. Mindful Moment says there's something wrong with the link. It's starting to glitch. If you're trying to donate, keep trying. So you're talking about the one that I pinned on YouTube? Yeah, I haven't been on there in the last couple of minutes, but I'm gonna look in just a second. Cooking with Miss D says facts, and those are the same ones who say I love black people. Zenobia, how you doing? Says that's right. Because any of them ask me why they should, I'm done. All right, Maya sisters, what's going on with you? Says lawyers are afraid to take certain cases out of fear of being listed by hiring managers, law firms, and public institutions. Yeah, they care about their own skin. Let's see, Polo Styles, how you doing? You said 70,000 has been raised for him so far. So I'm on a different one, so I don't know which one you guys are on, but I see one on the what did I say it was? Go go send. I think is what it is. The link is in the comment section on YouTube. Okay, let's see. 15 minutes and a snack. How you doing? He says they walk the truth, shame the devil. Is that what you say? Carlette, how you doing? Says our black lawyers do not stand up for us. That's why the police brutalize us. Black lawyers are not on code. I will definitely donate to the young man. Love and appreciate you for that. Easy says Donovan did America's favorite sharecropper fish fry raise over 500,000 for Democrats. Hey, average logical thinker. We talking about James Clyburn. Yeah, right. Is he still with us? I ain't seen or heard from him in a while. Mindful Moment says, don't argue, divest from all spaces with people with the black hate mindset. Curate your spaces and your lives. Yeah. And protect your peace. Don't be arguing with them. Hey, Carrie, how you doing? Entree, what's going on with you? Says, try donating several times. Won't let me donate. So is that the one with the link in my comment section? Because I know some of the GoFundMe's, they shut down. So if you're trying to do it on GoFundMe, that could be the issue. So the one that I put in my the comment section on YouTube, that should be the right one. Per his family. Frank says at one time there was a legal defense fund for things like this. Don't know what happened to it. It's in their bank account. Hey Ernest, how you doing? Says we must have a one for all and one for all and all for one mentality. I will be donating to the cause because this is something we should all be in on. Absolutely. You know, there's a lot of things we talk about, but you know, when it comes to you know, protecting the children and sticking up for the children, we should all be on the same accord, you know. And again, I'm going to say this too. I don't think that anybody's life should be taken. So that's not the page that I'm on, you know, RIP to that young man and things like that. But, you know, the facts need to be aired out and they need to speak for themselves. So.
Right. And Demetra, and we say this all the time. I know you guys, you know, politics is involved in every aspect of our lives. There's politics in every aspect of our lives. When you see a judge running in your community, county judge, county this, family judge, whatever the judge is, you can vote on that person. But if you get the racist white judge up there because you don't give a damn, because you're too busy getting ready to go on your cruise trip, the system, it really is. It could be stacked in the favor of the defendant. But see, we are so damn brainwashed into thinking that, well, racism overall is the problem. And it is. However, I sat in that jury pool and I could count the number of black heads that was in that jury pool. Now, some of you guys that live in areas where it is predominantly black, we spend so much of our time trying to get out of jury duty, electing the wrong judges into positions. And then we wonder why the incarceration rate for black people is so damn high.
Absolutely. And listen, I don't follow Roland Martin, but have y'all seen him talking about this at all? I don't know. I'm not saying he did. Has he been talking about it? You know, he talks about a lot of other things. And was it like a month ago? He was able to get hundreds of thousands of people to watch a live stream that he was doing to intercept that of Trump's speech when he was talking to Congress. He had hundreds of thousands of people watching him. So I don't know. You know, is he talking about it? I don't know. He says, where are all the black celebrities who was caping for Kamala? We all want to know. And yes, Ryan, I did see it's almost at $98,000. So, you know, progress is being made. Thank God. Child of God says they don't care. Black leadership, industrial complex don't give a damn about black people. People really need to understand that. You right? And Cynthia says Demetra and Donovan are absolutely right. Where the so-called Democratic leadership? Oh, they're busy fighting for the return of illegal immigration father who was known as a gang member. Yeah, I know you're talking about. And Michael says some black American lawyers graduated from Harvard with a JD degree. He says they would rather represent big corporations over their own people. And it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I got a quick question. Maybe maybe you know this as well, Demetra. Remember back in the day, uh, I remember going to my grandmother's house and they had like a black book. Remember, you had the phone book and you had the green book.
Mm-hmm.
You had a black book that had all your black businesses in there. You had your black lawyer. It's a listing of all the black lawyers, the plumbers, the auto mechanic, and you can just go to that book and there was that lawyer in the thing. Whatever happened to that? Does anybody know?
Well, I know they got a whole lot of stuff online. I don't know. It's just so many of them now, you know. But yeah, you're right. There was that book. You're absolutely right. Uh, I'm trying to thunder. You say DK preach. Mindful Moment says parents need to stop having their babies in these spaces with these majority others. Is not a flex. You're setting them up to be ostracized and attacked. LA is heavily segregated. Oh yeah. Sugar Unique, how you doing? Says let's see Jasmine crock a doodle do. You crazy. Do something beneficial with her law degree. Bobby Wobby, how you doing? Says NAACP silent about this, but has something to say when that black girl hit that other black girl with a baton. You ain't lying, boy. They stood up there and they was defending the girl who had who. Oh, what about me? My goodness. All right. Let's see. Skipping on down. Godspeed. How you doing? Says, well, Texas is supposed to be a stand your ground state, so hopefully he can do like Rittenhouse, because he was definitely. I'm sorry, he was defending himself. Yep. JJ, how you doing? Star Child, what's going on? She says, okay, I don't seem ridiculous. He says, I pledged a donation, but it didn't give me a way to pay it. On the and I keep it's give send go. I did it, and when I did it was easy. So I don't know. Alicia says I was in Frisco that same day. Immediately, the Dallas News was calling Carmelo a young man, thug, etc. Truth is coming out that those white boys were drug addicts in trouble. I donated also. Yeah, like I said, all this stuff is going to come out in the trial, but we want to make sure our dear young brother has a fair trial. Yes, absolutely.
You know, and I have a question of this, and maybe it's just the way my mom raised me. And I know back in the day, we were all similar in the way we were raised, especially coming from the Black community. My mother always told me, I'm a black man, a young black kid, whatever it was. Don't expect to be treated the same as your little white friend. My mother always told me that. And I noticed that our young people today, for some strange reason, they feel that the justice system should treat them as fair as a white person. And I was never taught that. I'm not saying I'm less than. My mom told me it's not going to be the same. It's not your system, so the outcome is going to be different. If I did the exact same thing as a white boy, the outcome is going to be different at the way that I'm looked at. And we're seeing it right now in real time, the way it goes. And my question is, when did we get away for the fact that we know we are different in how we are perceived in this government? And because I know the outcome for me is going to be different, that kind of scared me from doing crimes and stuff, because I didn't want to go to jail because of an ice cream cone. And that actually happened in the 90s. Some kid stole an ice cream cone. It was 3 strikes. They were going to send him to jail for life. The outcome is always going to be different. And I think we need to stop lying to our children and telling them, oh, everything's going to be okay and it's going to be equal. You're not equal. We're not equal. It's a lie. It's a lie. I'm not saying we're less than, but we're not equal. The outcome of a system that we do not control is always going to be on the side of the oppressor.
Absolutely. I see some of y'all saying it worked, some of y'all saying it didn't. I just clicked on it right now and it took me to donate. So I'm not quite sure what's going on. But some of y'all saying that it is working. I really don't know. I'm not a really tech savvy. CJ, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Sylvester, what's going on with you? Says Free Carmelo Anthony says have faith, Black first family, and trust in God. Nothing happens on this side that God don't already got fixed. Come on now. Yep. We need to be raising some money, right? No longer asleep. He says Dr. Umar raises money for himself. Yeah, and hopefully, we'll see him. And I'm pretty sure that he will start speaking on it, Cynthia says Demetra Donovan, absolutely right. Where is our so-called Democratic leadership and Senator Cory Booker's voices? Yeah, he spoke for 25 hours, right? Says, oh, they're too busy fighting and speaking on the return of illegal immigrant father who was known as a gang leader. Got you. Alicia says, I know some very high-profile JDs in Dallas, Fort Worth. I'm going to be reaching out to them. I hate these people lost their son but we must have true justice and let the facts come out. You're correct. Yeah, at least that, right? Ms. Arlene, how you doing? Says we need to talk about Black people evade. Yes, stop evading jury duty. Go to jury duty. Show up. There's nothing more important. Well, there is, but jury duty is it's extremely important because most of the time, somebody that looks like us, and it's supposed to be a jury of your peers, which peers means your friends, right? Somebody's more friendly to you, right? More favorable. Unfortunately, a lot of times when our people get on trial, we don't show up. Nah, I'm good. I got something else to do. And then somebody innocent, Black, getting sent up the river because you didn't show up because you had something else to do. You know, it's not, yeah, jury duty ain't sexy, but if you're into that type of thing, yeah, it could be fun. But show up because you never know. It might be you one day be up, defending yourself, looking across in the jury box, and they don't look like you. And they already got preconceived notions about you anyway. You need somebody, at least somebody look like you, to be like, I don't know about all that. Nah, at least be willing to hang the jury.
Yep. And I'm going to say this, and I don't mean to be negative about it. I'm going to tell you, sometimes having a tether, is that the word that they say, or a immigrant that looks like us, that might not be a good outcome either. So if you have a good lawyer, and so I'm saying these lawyers don't know these things. And sometimes if you got a Hispanic lawyer, if you got a lawyer, that's a good thing. But what I'm saying is, if you're a defendant, you also got to make sure that that lawyer knows the nuances of within our culture. Just because that person's African and he's Black like you doesn't necessarily mean he's for you. You see what I'm saying? So,
yeah. And Asha, how you doing? I haven't heard of the new Black book, but I heard of the new Green book, and it's digital. It's online. The Green book is to tell you where it's safe to travel in the United States, to avoid sundown towns. So I did hear about that. So y'all saying it's not working. I don't know why it's not working for some of y'all, but it's working for some. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Mox, how you doing? I don't know why it's not working, but I click on it and it works fine. So I don't know, y'all. Matthew, how you doing? Says, where's the fake new Black media rope? Well, we're gonna see if Ricky talk about it, tomorrow. Says, because I will be in the car then, unfortunately, that early. Says, and Ricky Smiley says, the View speaking on behalf of this young Black man. Nah, a lot of them got puppet strings. They got puppet strings they got to adhere to, right? Najee, I hope I said that right. Najee, did I say that right? If not, forgive me. He says, I mean, my mother told me that too. I'm not less than, but if he did the same thing as a white boy, it'd be different. You better tell the truth. Queen Adia says you would never be treated the same. The system was not designed that way. That is absolutely correct. Let's see who else is on here. Cut the bull.
Incentivizes you to stay out of the justice system. It should incentivize you to stay out of the justice system because the outcome is always going to be different.
Yeah, but sometimes you get in the justice system through no fault of your own. Cut the BS. How you doing? It says it's disgusting how these racists are viewing this case. They speak about justice when it comes to them. However, we don't benefit from stand your ground. Yeah, none of these laws were ever made to benefit us. None. Double A says, Donovan, I was told the same thing from my parents. We are Gen X. Hey, Tracy, how you doing? Says, well, dang, didn't know it was Sunday. Hey, Demetra, Donovan. What day did you think it was? Sometimes I get like that during the week. I'm like, yeah, it's Thursday. It's like, oh, no, it's Friday. I don't know why the link is not working, y'all. Maybe I have to go back in and try to repost it. I don't know. But some of y'all saying it is working. So I give me a second. I'll go check it out. Hey, Miss Sweets, how you doing? Long time no see. Hopefully you're doing well. Okay, so Ryan, you're reporting that it's $99,000 raised so far. Okay, when we started, it was about $93,000. So I think the word is really starting to spread. But as I said, this young man should have $1 million easily. Yes, let the facts come out. Easy says all the professional athletes in Dallas stand up and donate. Nah, they got puppeteers that they cannot, they can't get off the chain with. But everybody else, like you said, they can speak on that, but they better not speak on nothing like this because then they be towing the line, standing with their own people, right? Jesse says we still have those black books, Donovan. Okay. No longer sleep says, remember, it says, Othal, it says still in jail. Oh, got you. Yes, still in jail. Stand your ground didn't work for him. Yeah, there's a lot of our people didn't work for, but I know they took a lot of cell phone from the scene that happened during this unfortunate incident. So maybe they took him because there's a lot of footage on there. I don't know, but from his own brother's mouth, he said that his brother grabbed him. His brother grabbed Carmelo. His own brother said that. So it's like, what are we doing here? You know, I don't know. But again, the facts need to come out. And Sharon, thank you, says I just donated. Thank you for the link. I love and appreciate y'all for donating. Those of y'all who wanted to and you can't for whatever reason, God bless your heart. Because there's some people who can't, but there's even if it's $1, 50 cents, if it's 50 cents, it's gonna get him closer to where he needs to be, right? So I love and appreciate every last one of y'all. Thank you, Corey. And Cynthia says, Demetri K, the website on your page is working. I just donated, sending prayers and strength to his family. I'm glad that's working. That's why I posted it. I posted on Twitter. I posted on Facebook, and I'm here. So yeah, I know it's kind of hard to do it on Instagram to post certain links, so I didn't do it there. Alicia says the district attorney is Black and he is pretty fair about us, but I'm reaching out to he says, to very, very high profile FBA attorneys in Dallas Fort Worth and a few in H-Town. I have already sent out a few texts. See, that's what we need. Boots on the ground, people who know somebody to get to somebody who they can, know can make a big impact. Sugar Unique, it says, too sad Austin thought he could put his non-authoritarian assaulting hands on someone else, which created his demise. Don't expect someone else to have restraints when the culprit certainly did not. Yeah, and again, as I said, let all the stuff play out in court, but let's get him as much money as we can so he can at least get a fair trial. He don't have to get no jackleg lawyer, somebody who, was it Donovan Uptown Saturday Night, Richard Pryor's character.
Private Eye Washington, yeah.
Right. He hopping out the dang on window because they after him, Thank you, Michael. Love it. Appreciate you. Said Demetri donated for me to donate. I had to create a username and password. Okay, well, I appreciate you for that. Every little bit helps. Thank you. Frankie says Sundown Towns in 2025. Get the F out of here. Yeah, they exist. I'm not too far from one, for what I understand. Vidor, Texas. I didn't know till actually y'all was on here telling me that it's a sundown town. I was like, well, thanks for telling me, because I do not want to go to Vidor for no reason at all. Daytime, dusk, any of that. I like to, be noose from around my neck free. Easy says, D, this young man never been arrested, 4.0 student, but the images of him online by news and others are repugnant. That's right. That's why we really ought to be cognizant of the media. But we've been told for a very long time that the media is not our friend. It's just not. They're never, ever, which is why it's important. This is a commercial break, y'all. Commercial break. This is why it's important to support new Black media, especially when new Black media starts to have our own platforms, like on African Diaspora News Channel. See, over there, we can report how and when we want, right? On these other platforms, we got to be careful of some of the things we say. But the media, the mainstream media, they've never been our friends. They've always depicted us as the boogeyman, the evil one, the savages, and this, that, and the other. That's just what they do. So we have to be careful of the things that we inculcate. I don't watch a lot of TV. The things that I watch, I go pick them, right? I decide what I watch. I don't just sit up in front of the TV all day and have all these images and narratives just be rammed into my brain all day. But yeah, the media has never, ever been our friend. You even think about something like BET. It's not owned by us. It was, but it's owned by them. And look at all the degradation they have on there. That's supposed to be for Black people. Really? Oh, okay. Norris, she says, I saw the Black book, but because of integration, it went away. Because went away. Young Blacks tell me they don't think it was that bad trying to school me, and I lived in the years. Like, come on now. Come on.
Yeah. Did you guys see the NAACP Image Awards? Now, like I said, I don't really watch award shows, but I saw the clip of it. Why the hell would you give Kamala Harris an award for what? For incarcerating Black people and Black women, for keeping slave labor in the prison systems, for losing a national election and $20 million in debt? I'm just embarrassed, and nothing against to our elders, because there are some good elders that know what's going on and keep up. But for these bootleg elders that are out here giving awards, and this is what our black public servants that we elect do. They give each other civil rights awards and name post offices after each other and stuff like that, because they just don't give a damn. They just don't give a damn. Why would you give a woman that is non-black an award that is for black people? It's just it's supposedly black people. It's just ridiculous.
Hey Sylvester, how you doing? He says D&D, can you do a live on Black Project 2025? I can. I actually know what you're talking about. It sounds like there's a lot of foolishness going on with that. So I need to actually delve back into it and see what's going on if we're talking about the same one. Yeah, sounds like unfortunately some chicanery has happened. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But I've kind of seen the discourse on it. But I definitely will take a look back into it to see what I can learn. But welcome. And Brother Perry, you says stand your ground laws were created by them folks to take us out. Come on now, if you know, you know. Queen, Yashmin, how you doing? He says, I heard they took the GoFundMe. Is that true? Yes, the GoFundMe, they did. But the other one, Give, Send, Go is still up. Salam, how you doing? I see you up in here trying to throw rocks at people. We're gonna just keep on scrolling. So nobody says, oh, they can't come off the plantation for their own. Nope. Yeah, Cynthia's almost at 100,000. All praises due to Allah for sure.
Yeah, if you look at the comments, it already surpassed 100. So somebody said you locked the doors on this, Demetra.
Oh, let me see. Yep, it's over 100,000. It is over 100,000. So yep, we're making progress, y'all, and I'm sure other people are talking about it. I've seen a lot of people posting about it. So you know, that's good. We need to get this kid as much money as possible. We absolutely do. Miss Mag, how you doing? So let's see. Easy says D, his brother now retracting that he said that. I saw the news clip when he said it, and I got it saved. I have it. You said all right. Gary said you donated again, but I use Apple Pay button. That's what I used yesterday when I did it. I'm going to donate again as well. Diane, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. It says late to the table after work today. Okay. Hope you didn't have to work too hard. Andre, he says more facts coming out about the twin brothers weren't on the track team. They had no business being there. Yeah, I've seen a whole lot of stuff. That's why I said when the trial happens, you know, whatever, then I think then we'll get to know a little bit more. Facts, not feelings. How you doing? It says peace and love, family. I'm very proud of the brother. In my eyes, he's 100% innocent. Black first. Okay. Payroll, how you doing?
I have a quick question. I want you guys to think about this. Like I said, everything incorporates politics one way or the other. If Donald Trump, Justice Department, looks into this case, I know, and I know it's not a federal situation, but if Donald Trump weighs in on this case and he's saying that that's his BS, whatever the deal is, how would you guys feel about Donald Trump then? I mean, to me, it would really give the Democrats a black eye to know that, you know, here's a boogeyman and a Hitler and a fascist that is standing up for what he thinks is right. What do you think about that, Demetra? What would
you, if Trump said, and Zenobia, thank you so much for the donation. Love and appreciate you. Says everyone, just do what you can. There you go. Just do what you can. You said if Trump spoke out on behalf of Carmelo.
Yeah, and his Justice Department looked into it.
And the Democrats, yeah, I think it would say a lot, but that is a really strong hypothetical. Brother Damon, how you doing? Hope you're doing well today. Okay, so Brother Sylvester said it's the same. Yeah, I saw some discourse about it again. I have to look into it. Charlene, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Bad 72, what's going on with you? The link is pinned. It should be pinned in the comment section on the YouTube channel here. 48 TCO, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Patrick, what's going on? It says, where can I donate? Just came in. It should be pinned in the comment section on YouTube. That's why I pinned it before the show got started. And thank you, everybody that's donating to help this young man, get a fair shake because he's going to need it. Daryl says, NAACP, he says, Black division have no shame. He says, when the new generation starts to shame them and dismantle the NAACP, then you will see change. Yeah. I mean, NAACP, they're not for us. They're for everybody else now, and it's been that way. But they're not even trying to hide it. Awaken y'all, children. How you doing? Says thank you for posting the official donation website. I've seen a few of the fake ones before I finally found the official one. I'm happy that he will be able to use this to get a decent legal team. Yes, indeed. Yeah, we always want to make sure we post the right one because unfortunately, there's some scoundrels out there that's going to, try to get a dollar off of somebody else's situation, and it sucks. But yeah, this is the right one. Brother Arnie, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. MC007, how you doing? Long time no see. He says, why did this young man have a... Guess we'll find that out, during the trial. And that's what we really want him to get is a fair trial. So I guess all that'll be seen. Like I said, I'm not even trying to litigate any of this here because we don't know anything, right? We only know what we know, and it's not a lot. So yeah. Patrick says, thanks for the link. So the brother lying now. Oh yeah, because like I said, the one that I showed originally, he said, yeah, my brother grabbed him by the backpack, and then the edited one when I went to the I think it was ABC. When I went to their website, they had edited it out. It's like, why did y'all do that? Because he said his brother grabbed him. So
isn't that a crime? Isn't that a crime? Remember when the Kamala edited her things and stuff like that? And I think they're making that a crime now.
Well, if they did in fact do that, it doesn't fit the narrative that he was just I'm just skipping along, to see what's going on. That don't fit that narrative, leather and luxury cars. Long time no see to you too. He says, now that the lawyers paid, let's get that bond paid up so he can fight from within. Yeah, let's get him out. Let's get him out. Cynthia says they gave VP Kamala Harris an award for her smile and laughter. She's still winning. Oh. Ryan says, thank you, Demetri and Donovan. This proves just how important Black media is for us. Yeah, this is what we should be doing. I know sometimes we do this, some silliness or whatever the case is, but this is what we should be doing, is really helping each other. Because if we can't help each other, none of this matters. It's just us talking.
Right. And I want you guys to remember, the Democrats are for censorship. They are the biggest group that wants censorship. Why do they want censorship? Because we are having these conversations. Their most loyal base of people are now talking across the nation and across the world. And we're realizing we have the same problems no matter what region of the country we come from, be it Seattle, California, Atlanta, Houston, Chicago, New York. We're all having the same problems.
Yeah. Brother Perry, you can find it on my page. So if you go to my page on Facebook where you are, I posted the link right before I came on here on my page. And you can donate there, please. And thank you. Let's see. And the one who cares, thank you for asking everybody to hit the like button. Love and appreciate you for that. Cut the BS. She says, wow, they took the GoFundMe. Yeah, let them protest alone. No sympathy for them. Dare I say, go Trump, let them FAF on my opinion. The Black First FBA. Love your platform, Demetri. And I love you being here. Thank you so much. You're welcome, BAD. Daryl says Trump's Justice Department might put federal hate crime charges on Camelo. Yeah, but how do you do that? You got to prove there was a hate crime. Was it a hate crime? I don't know. Charlene, he says, I stopped watching the awards. Oh, yes. Yeah, just a bunch of nonsense, if you ask me. All right, let me see. Yes, Zenobia says, it's go, give, send, go. Say that 5 times, right? Mindful Moment says, Trump won't be saying anything, given who's in his cabinet members are. I won't hold my breath. Yeah, that's why I said, ooh, that's a strong hypothetical. Mama T says, too far-fetched. Trump ain't thinking about us.
Well, the thing is, yeah, I know it's far-fetched, but you got to remember though, why is and let me just go off subject real quick because I want to get you guys to understand something. When it comes to politics, it's about power and money, right? But it's also about absolute destruction and embarrassment. Why wouldn't Trump say something to show Black people that this party is not for you? Here's my thing. In 4 years, if the Democrats win the presidency back, I want you guys to think about this. They're going to have to show and prove, because one thing Trump has shown in less than 100 days, look at everything that he delivered for the people that put him in office. That's going to put a lot of pressure on the Democrats to do the same. See, so I know it's very far fetched, but politically, if I was his advisor, I would say, yeah, you need to kind of speak on this to show the difference, show black people so we can get more black voters over here that we're going to do for black folks versus what the Democrats ain't doing. This would be a gold mine for Donald Trump right now.
Yeah, and I agree with that. He ain't gonna do that. Trump ain't thinking about us. And like Michelle, I believe it was Michelle that said he supported Daniel Penny. Full stop. He supported Daniel Penny. Y'all know what Daniel Penny did, So to Jordan Neely in that subway. So yeah, he supported him. They all did. So yeah, I don't think that would happen. I know Trump looks orange, but he's white to the bone. Hey, Buckhorse, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Uh, all right, let me skip on down. Ooh, we're over an hour. Look at that. Uh yes, grassroots, absolutely BAD. And Sister Shirley says, I don't really want to hear anything about Kamala Harris. You and me both. She needs to stay where she at, washing those bathtub greens or whatever it is she's doing. That leave her alone. The Shaw brothers, how you doing? Says Carmelo should get himself a black lawyer, not a white lawyer. Yeah, I just say he should get, whoever's going to do the job. That's what he needs. He needs him a good lawyer, black, white. There's a lot of white lawyers out there who, Anthony Bailey was one of the best to ever do it. He defended OJ, Joe Tacopino.
And he also, Anthony Bailey also defended, what's her name? The heiress, she was the heiress from, remember she robbed the bank and, she was the white lady? Patty Hearst. He defended her. Yeah, he defended her.
Yeah. So, it just needs to be a good one. That's what he needs. He need like some young thug lawyers, something like that. And Diane
that lawyer was willing to go to jail. I mean, they did put him in jail.
Yeah,
that lawyer, they held him in contempt.
Yeah. The lawyer, yeah. Diane says we're having the same problems because they are having the same goal, and that is to eliminate us. Yeah, but we ain't going nowhere. Brenda, how you doing? Says don't call them the Democrats, call them the demo devil. But damn. Anthony, how you doing? It says, hi, Sister Demetria and Brother Donovan. I am now in Chi-Town. However, I lived in the IE, Ontario, California for 27 years, right off of Haven Avenue, down the street from the person. He says, I agree with you. Yeah, that's my stomping area up in there. I'm from Riverside. River Tucky is what we like to call it. But yeah, Haven Avenue is right down to 60 to 10. You get from the 15, depending on which way you go. I know exactly where that is. My brother actually lives in Ontario, right there before. So Ontario, but then right down the street is Rancho Cucamonga. Patrick says Trump will stay out of it. Yeah, I don't think he's going to say anything. Sharon says Trump honored Daniel Penny, so it doesn't seem likely. Correct. Carrie says the Most High said he's always got us on his mind, so we don't need a Trump Penny thoughts. No, we don't. We don't. Yeah, so Anthony, you right by the Ontario airport. Yeah, my brother lives right by the Ontario airport. Just I could walk from the airport to his house. Believe it or not. Yes, Mindful Moment says, let's not be delusional. Ernest says, we most understand that the Boule and the Black Caucus have never been our friend. They stand up for everyone else because that's what they are paid to do. You're absolutely right. But we need to put the pressure on them. Like I said, to speak up for everybody else. Why y'all got silent now? Jamal Bryant, I don't go to church. Hey, Frank, how you doing? A long time no see. Sunlight, what's going on with you? Jamal Bryant, he hollering and hooping, holler about everything else. The Target fast. And did he say anything today in church about this? Did anybody know? I don't go to church at all, so I don't know. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I'm just asking. Was he and choking to death talking about this like he does everything else that don't matter? Just asking.
And nothing against our elders. Like I said, you got a lot of elders that are on it, and to me, the elders that are still like engaged with what's going on in the community, those are the real militant elder Negroes that we needed to continue to lead us. It's unfortunate that a lot of our elders, they ain't saying a word. And we're talking about the civil rights era elders. They don't give a damn. They're just worried about their Social Security. Oh, and Trump is going to the stock market. They're just worried about themselves. You would think that these civil rights era elders would, since they're still in charge, they would be saying something. They ain't saying a damn thing. Maxine Waters say anything? Nope, she don't give a damn. We can go all the way down the list.
So easy. He already has one, a good lawyer in Dallas. Okay, if that's true, I'm so happy. And Brother Perry, I don't know why it's not working. I just clicked on it and it's working for me. Is at $102,000 now. So
Yeah,
you're making progress.
yeah. I'm not a computer guru like I used to be, but sometimes you guys, you might have to refresh your browser. So hit the refresh button, and that might help.
Yes. James, how you doing? He says, I miss you, my dear sweetheart, Demetra. Says, I love looking into your eyes. He said, today I something. Shut up, Donovan. Let me have my moment. Now I'm a really. I miss you, dear sweetheart, Demetra. I love looking into your eyes. Yes, a Barry White song for you. Stay, please, and make love to me. Love Unlimited Orchestra. Well, thank you. Thank you, James. We love to make Donovan, green with envy. EPG AH3, and I know it's probably spelled something, but I probably, jack that up. It says, okay. I'm hoping by now, did y'all block this person? Let me see. If you didn't block them, I'm gonna block them.
Yeah, Frank Fairfax says most civil rights people are dead. No, I disagree with you, Frank Fairfax. Now, if you're talking about the prominent civil rights leaders that made millions of dollars and left everybody else in the damn hood, yeah, those guys are all gone. I'm talking about people, and no disrespect, like Norris and my mom and all these people that lived in the civil rights era. These people that are in the churches all the time and doing all that stuff. I'm talking about those people. People that are our parents' age. If you're Generation Xer, the elders, our parents should be outraged and fighting and standing up, not these Jesse Jackson type people. No, those people have been bought and paid for, and they don't give a damn. We're talking about everyday people like us that are my parents' age in their 70s. Civil rights era people should be talking since they're still in leadership.
Absolutely. So yes, so I posted the Give Send Go. I'm not sure what's going on with GoFundMe, but Give Send Go. So it's the Give Send Go website that's collecting funds by his family. So Miss Sweet says, show up and show out. Absolutely. Easy says his lawyer is Derek Walpole, McKinney, Texas. Let me write that down because I want to look him up. Says Derek Walpole. Yes. King Shaw says he's gonna need or at least rather need 2 lawyers, right? 3, 4. Need the dream team like OJ had, because they, ooh man, like I said, I remember the day. I remember. Alicia, you crazy. Talk about get a room. Zeepers, how you doing? Long time no see. He says this is smoke. He says I keep a knife in case they're serving cheesecake. Yeah, you might want to butter some toast. Slice an apple like they used to do back in the day, right? Remember the old people used to slice an apple? They eat the apple right off the knife. So yeah, I got you. And Easy says Walpole is a law group in McKinney. Okay, cool. Yep. Damon, you crazy. Curly girl, how you doing? Long time no see. Mr. Norris says Donovan, 100% correct about these elders. Jupiter, what's going on with you? Long time no see to you. Says, hey, Demetra, I just saw a video of that old spiritual ninja defiant lawyer. Because, he does look like that. The defiant lawyer. He's like, oh, you gotta understand. You gotta understand Project 2025. They're coming for us. We're going on the plantation, y'all. That's how he sounded looking. It's like, God. Anyway, he says, and they are tearing him up. And they are tearing him up in the comments on his last video. He wants everyone to show up to April 5th. See? And he's mad we not doing it. I'm telling you, go look at the defiant lawyer that he's, oh, swing low, sweet chariot. Em, how you doing? Says Laugh Out Loud. James is getting his Mac on, right? And
And speaking of these misleaders, have they been right about anything that they said was going to happen that has happened? They haven't been right on one thing yet, and then they go to the next thing, and they go to the next thing. I mean, let me ask you guys this, and I have to explain it to you ladies because you ladies already understand it. How many lies must you receive before you say this person is full of BS?
Was you asking me? You asked somebody else?
Rhetorical.
Okay, got you.
Just rhetorical.
Fool, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Says we're still here, baby. We out living the young. You know what? You ain't lying. And I don't know how old you are. Maybe we the same age, maybe a little older, but some of us, y'all see this? Y'all see my gray hair? Y'all see it? It's coming in like lightning. Shit, like look,
not as good as your sister though. Your sister got that
she gray
sexy
all
gray.
up in here.
Yeah, sexy gray.
Listen, some of us look good compared to a lot of younger folks. Burning the candles at both ends, drinking yak and all the other things you can think of, and staying up all night. Yeah, we look good. See, our generation know how to go to bed early at a decent time. We know how to get up and say our prayers and be stress-free, right? And drink us our water and our tea. And if we drink, it's every once in a while. It's not every day. It's a special occasion, So yeah, I'm with you on that one. Cynthia says, where's the good old, oh, Lord, Reverend Al Sharpton, Jaws. I didn't listen to him this morning. I wasn't in the car this morning early enough. He says Jaws at NAN, National Action Network, on this particular issue. Dimitri should call him. You know what? If he ain't said nothing in the next week, I'm going to get it on the radio next Sunday, which is my birthday, by the way. I'll say, hey, I think they call him Loudmouth. That's I guess that's one of his names. Hey, Loudmouth. So I will do that just for you. He says, no longer sleep. He says, the TNGM is alive and informing. And I don't know who that is. It's probably something y'all said already went over my head. Thank you, Carrie, for reposting it. Cooking Miss D says a sincere thank you to everyone who has donated to Carmelo GoFundMe, and it's actually to give saying go. I think they shut the GoFundMe's down. I guess it's part of their protocol. Some of the people was complaining. Curly Girl said I just shared the link to donate. Thank you. We got to get this brother all the help he needs. Yeah, I can't stand a defiant lawyer either. Somebody sent me his stuff. I was like, oh, if this ain't he just just buttery biscuit. A dry one. Lovely, how you doing? Says hello everyone. He needs to get Davis McLean for his lawyer. So AKA Method. You crazy Method Man. We must match that energy power. It's also the Method Man and his lawyer on power. Yeah, JJ. The fine lawyer is a clown, but it was a matter of time before people figure him out because he's just doing too much, swinging low, sweet cherry and all that. Diane, so you're talking to Donovan. No longer asleep. It says I'm a boomer as well. Aware. There you go. Easy says he said we doing more harm by not attending. Well, I'm telling him to go. Tell him to get a chariot to carry him home. I don't know. M. Jones. He says and Carrie. It says 1951. I guess I'm a baby boomer. Yep, you are a baby boomer. I'm Gen X. Emily says, for anyone having trouble, if you're clicking for the link in the chat, close and re-enter the live. Okay, then click the link, which should work. I have the glitch effect the first time I clicked. Okay, got you. So you got to go out and come in. Like Donovan said it too as well. Pink, blue. Did I say hello to you? Not hello. The average logical thinker says the defiant lawyer sound like something else. Gonna look him up because I need a quick laugh. Yeah, you're going to be like, come on now, man. You for real? Who sent you? I mean, he just we gotta go along to get along. That kind of thing. Easy says MAGA got punched out by a transgender at the march. What? They wilding out there. I seen some wacky things at the march that I was not there for. Says the GoFundMe link still works. So from what I understand, are shutting them down. So I don't know. Team True says, lovely, great, Demetra, keep shining, sis. Yeah, man, my daughter's like, don't diet. You got to keep going. She told me not to dye my hair. So don't do it. So I guess maybe I'll just be gray. Donovan's gray, but you'll never know. Ask me why, you'll never know. Damon says one lie chase with a tall tail. M says that dude would definitely keep the plantation live and popping. Yeah, he gonna be the first one to sign up. Eyes here. What's your name? Defiant lawyer. Eyes here. Show me the cotton patch. You needs me to be Pickens.
That reminds me, Dimitri, you did something on the African Diaspora News Channel where that one old guy was like, "Stay your ass home." Remember? It was someone. He was like, "Stay your ass home." We talk about the parade.
Oh yeah. Sit your black ass down. Yeah, that's what. Hey, Leanne, how you doing? He says, I know I'm late in here. I donated yesterday, and my donation was returned. Was that is that the real link? So when I understand, GoFundMe is shutting it down, but Give, Send, Go. That's the one that was started by his family, and that one seems to be good. I pinned that link in the comment section on YouTube, so you should be able to donate to that. Now, if you have a problem clicking on it, they said you got to go out and come back in and click on it, and it should work. So yeah, that's what I understand. I love to talk to the defiant lawyer one day. Y'all should tell him that I love to talk to him. Charlene says most of the true black activists aren't televised. Plus, they are too busy doing the work, unlike these clowns. Yeah, I will concede that with you. Cooking with Miss D says the defiant lawyer and James Clyburn have a lot in common. You ain't lying. You ain't stop sloganizing. Perry says, why didn't Al Sharpton donate any money? After all, he got paid $500,000 for shilling for Kamala Harris. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe still early. Maybe we just haven't seen, whether he spoke out or not. So it all remains to be seen,
Well, let's also look at our pastors. Dimitri, you say this all the time. We give all money to the church. And then, back in the day, in the 70s and, in the good old days, you could go to the church if you needed some help or a little assistance and stuff. That's what the church was basically there for. So, we can close the doors and raise all this money. All these churches are in the hood. The pastors driving classic cars and all this other stuff, going to big old homes. We got to start holding the church accountable or get the church out of the community. Close the church doors and just close them down.
Absolutely. Amanda, can you call your aunt Deanna? Can you call your auntie? She called me. Hey David, how you doing? Easy says D, that attorney is a Clyburn replacement. Yeah, he a mess. Hey Kathy, how you doing? Black Light, what's going on with you? Says, yeah, they shut his GoFundMe down. Yeah. So the one I pinned in the comment section is the one that's rocking and rolling. Yeah, they always do that. You're right. Michael says, Demetria candidate is running for Congress in your district. His name is Tyrone Stevenson. His platform emphasizes cash payment reparation to Black American freedmen of chattel slavery. So is he the one that's running to replace Sylvester? Well, I don't think nobody's running yet. Is that the one you're talking about? Because I guess the governor has to call a special race and he hasn't called it yet. So there's a lot of contention with that. So I will definitely be checking up on that. Harris County is huge. So where I'm at is kind of just weird. The way it's situated. Damon says, Miss K, you and it says gray would be sexy on steroids. Yeah, I mean, I got some gray hair. It's coming through. I'm not even trying to fight it. Before I used to pull them out, but I'll be bald headed now if I did that. Carla says, I responded to the defiant lawyer by telling him off. He was telling us to go out on April 5th with the protesters. He's off his rocker. Yeah, somebody sent him because he just came out of nowhere with the I don't know. He just seems weird. It almost seems like he's back in the early 1800s with we got to love him. It just seems weird. It seems like maybe he got in a time machine, came to the future. It's weird. He's just weird.
Or what about this? The Democratic Party and the Republican Party are the same party, the ruling party, right? The Republicans always talk about the good old days. Now here's this guy over here sounded like the good old days. So would it be feasible that, again, good cop, bad cop, they're both working in contention to put Black people back in the good old days?
I don't know what good old days that was, but yeah, they want us to be thinking back in the good old days, quote unquote. They want us to be thinking that way. Well, we was like, well, we don't want no trouble now. We just gonna just be fair to middling and we're not gonna cause, we just gonna go. That's where they want us. They want us mentally back in the olden days. You're welcome, Corey. And Mindful Moment says black churches are a tax-free business, not true places of worship. Some of them are. A lot of them nowadays is kind of The average logical thinker says, "Hey, Donovan, here's a great. Thanks for asking. He's great. Thanks for asking. I hope you all's well with you and your fur babies. And Lord knows he got a lot of them." Rock, he says Catholic charities has nothing to do with the churches. Easy says, I don't believe any of these politicians that only say was popular to get in, then keep up. Oops, where'd he go? To get in, then become anti-reparations when elected. Oh yeah, that's what they do. Venus, how you doing? He says, boomers are here. We are some of your suggestions. What are some of your suggestions for us to do? You all have more in numbers. Keep up the excellence.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that the boomers have done what you were supposed to do. Some people disagree with it, but one thing about the boomers, y'all weren't no punks. Some of us, may think, oh, some of the things that y'all were championing for, maybe obviously in hindsight, was not helpful, but you guys weren't no punks. I'm never gonna begrudge y'all that. Not me, because y'all really put boots on the ground, right? Y'all risk life and limb and a whole host of other things that you knew that would happen, but you weren't afraid to do it anyway. So what y'all need to be doing is resting and let us take it from here. But see, the problem is a lot in our generation, I'm Gen X, and beyond, we have to stop blaming them and actually start doing stuff like get offline, get the organizing and things like they did. So my hat goes off to the boomers.
Well, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one, and I'm going to tell you, Miss Venus, what we need to do. And here's what we need to do. Here's what the boomers need to do. Just like when you guys were young in the civil rights movement, you guys didn't just wake up one day and had all the knowledge to know how to do these things. You had Philip Randolph. What's his name? The Porter guy.
A. Philip Randolph.
A. Philip Randolph. We had guys like that you guys went to and strategized with. So like right now, to me, boomers are like board members, CEOs on boards, and they sit on these trustees on boards, right? You guys are the elders, you've been there, whatever. You get a young person like Demetra, she's the CEO of the company, but she has to go to you guys when she has an idea to run it around you guys and what you guys think based on past experience. And that's what I think the boomers need to do. And not all of you guys, because some of you guys that are in this chat are very militant, but I think that is the role boomers need to take. It's like being an elder at a church. You're not in the trenches anymore. You're more sitting back and you're giving that wisdom, and that wisdom gets passed down to the next generation. And unfortunately, a lot of boomers aren't doing that. You guys are dying with the knowledge. You're taking the knowledge with you to the upper room. And that's what I think that they should be doing, because like I said, we don't have the answers. We're your children, we're your grandchildren, whatever. We don't have the answers. We weren't in the streets. What we know about what you guys did, which was phenomenal, and let's give the boomers their flowers. We wouldn't be the nation we are, if you like it or not, if it wasn't for the boomers challenging the authority. But the problem with the boomers is once they got whatever the goal was, they all checked out and got government jobs or whatever it was. But the fact of the matter is they should be more in an elder position, more of a CEO on the board of directors, telling us from their experience, giving us the options of what we should do, because they've already experienced it. Well, we went this way, so what you guys should do, we made a mistake going this way, you guys should go this way. They should be more advisory.
Hey, S, how you doing? It says the Black Panthers were of the boomers, and they weren't the only ones at the time that were on that level. Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying. Reason why I say I think and I'm not saying they have a seat to be disrespectful. I think that they've done their job. I think they need to rest, and I mean that respectfully. And I don't think they should be sitting at the board, because they sitting at the board now. And I'm not trying to blanket everybody, but I'm saying for the most part, you got a lot of boomers and silent generationers that are still at the board, whether in Congress or wherever, right? And it's time for them to say, okay, because if you're a leader, and this is why I always try to teach, there's a difference between a leader and a manager. We have managers now. And unfortunately, and I love boomers, my dad is actually from the silent generation. My mom was a baby boomer. Unfortunately, some of y'all do a lot of managing. Managing means we're not going to change anything. We're just going to keep the status quo. We're going to just keep doing wash, rinse, repeat. But we need more leaders to say, okay, you know what? I've done this for as long as I can, because leaders teach other leaders to be leaders, right? So hopefully the boomers and the people that are, the older generation has done that. They've been teaching the generations under them how to take the helm and go do what they need to do. Because if you've taught them right, then you trust their leadership. But yeah, we got to get past the point. It's not even just in our community. It's a lot of communities where the older generation, they sit there and they sit there and they sit there. And again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but especially in Congress, we're seeing where they're literally dying in those positions. We have two. Sheila Jackson Lee, God rest her soul, she knew she was sick. She died in the seat. Sylvester Turner, I don't know what he knew he had going on, but he survived a bout with cancer and he died in the same seat. So at what point do we say, okay, boomers, we love you. You guys did a great job. We got it from here. So, let's see. Brother Jonelle, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. We're about to get out of here. I didn't realize it was so late. We had an hour 30. Facts I feel says boomers' wisdom is try to get into white and you better stop. Neighborhoods, screw building your own neighborhood. You better stop it. Lady Metatrons. I hope I said that right. How you doing? It says the term is Emetris. Got you.
That's what it was, Emetris. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think Nancy Pelosi is the speaker, Emetris. They made a position for her to keep her.
They made a position for her?
Yeah, she is the speaker, Emetris. So basically, she's still running the Democratic Party and has Jeffries up there as a puppet.
I guess. All right. So let's see. And Kojo, how you doing? It says fair assessment and solution. Okay. I just want to acknowledge everybody I did not see before we leave, because I've lost my voice and it is barely holding on.
Okay, well, before you lose it completely, let's give us a synopsis before we get out of here to emphasize helping this young man and getting the word out.
Hey, the Tony Bone. Yeah, so at the end of the day, let's put our money where our mouth is. Being online and as I've said a lot lately, yipping your yapper. We online yipping our yappers, but we really need to be boots on the ground. We really need to be, putting our money where our mouth is. We can do all the talking we want, but talking is not going to get this young man a fair trial. Talking is not going to get this young man the legal team that he needs. You know what I mean? Because we know that he's got a lot going against him. He's got the media. He's got them folks. He's got a lot going against him. They've already said, in their minds, figured that he was guilty. And as I said earlier, look up George Stinney, and that was kind of the same thing they did to him. He didn't get a fair shot. They didn't care. They didn't care at all, just like they don't care now. That's why I take issue with people saying, oh, racism ain't what it was. They don't want racism and all this other stuff. But we're in 2025, and I'm thinking about George Stinney in 1944. And what happened to him? So things were a lot differently back then. Black people really didn't have no say. So not that we got a lot of say so now, but back then it's like, we're taking your 14-year-old, we're going to prop him up on this electric chair, and we're going to take his life because we think he did something that if they would have just taken 5 minutes to go through some of the evidence, they would have saw that he didn't do it. Like I said, it does him no good that they posthumously, exonerated him. Obama did that. And, he'd have been over, if he was still alive, he'd be 100. He was born in 1925, so it'd be 100. Okay, so that does him no good. But we got to get to the point as a people to where we stop having these meaningless conversations without putting something behind the conversation. Because we could talk all we want, but money talks. That's the word. Money talks. And what did the old people used to say? Excuse my French, I'm gonna say it one time. Money talks and bullshit walks. And it's so true. So if we can keep donating, okay, so it's at 104,000 now. We can keep donating. I'd love and appreciate everybody who's donated. This is all over. We need to keep spreading the word and say, hey, did you donate today? We got a young brother that's fighting for his life, and we need to do all we can. Thank you, Cynthia. Cynthia, love and appreciate you. Says FBAs are standing on our own Black business, proud and love y'all. Thank you. Now we love you too. Easy says D have South Carolina paid his family anything for that? I don't know. I don't know if George Steeny's family got anything for that, but it's the same thing. He was convicted by the public. You know, and I'm gonna be careful when I say this, but the same mobs that went after him and all the others, it's just a different form of it in 2025. It's a different form. Don't y'all ever forget, and I'm gonna say this: don't you ever forget how they see you. So I always go back to the quote Malcolm X, which I'm sure he got from the Nation of Islam. Are they your friends or are they just friendly? You always remember that. Remember that. And this right here, if you ever, and I made a TikTok earlier, and I said, if you ever thought you're those one of those people talking about why they want us to segregate, why they want to separate, this is why. This is why we need to be separate. We could be doing our own thing, right? So anyway, I'm gonna get Brother Jonel's comment, and I'm gonna get out of here.
Right. And real quick, I just want to add, again, we can control our destiny when it comes to the justice system. At least stack it in our advantage. That's the way the system is designed. Stop trying to get out of jury duty. Stop teaching our kids to miss jury duty. Stop not getting involved in local elections with the judge and the district attorney. That makes a significant difference in the outcome of your trial, unless you have a Kamala Harris. But you know what I mean? It makes a difference. You know, it's a trial and error type thing. But you guys, we have to participate. It's either this, and I'm going to make it plain. Either we're going to be a part of America or we're not. Make up your mind. You can't be lukewarm here and lukewarm there. It's either one or the other. If we're going to be a part of this country, then we got to participate and make sure that we are being judged by our peers according to the laws of this country. If not, let us separate and go make a way on our own. It's just that simple.
Absolutely. And the Brad, how you doing? And Brother Jonel says we can no longer afford to be comfortable, so-called Negroes, so-called African Americans being comfortable in the house of our colonizer. We must have our own and be on self-sufficient productivity. There you go. We got. We got to take care of each other. At the end of the day, they're not going to do it. We should stop expecting them to do it. Stop expecting sympathy from them. And that's why I said stop arguing with them, because when you argue with them and you may not know it, subconsciously you're seeking sympathy. You're seeking to change their minds. You're seeking to win them over. You got to remember, to a lot of them, that's innate in them. How they feel about us is innate. It is natural to them and how they feel about us. So you're never going to change their mind. You'll be faster trying to tell a zebra to change its stripes before you change their mind and how they see you. Save yourself time and energy, and put the energy where it matters. So anyway, let's continue trying to get our brother free. Yeah, I want to continue to talk about it because I don't think this is something that, and none of these stories should go away. But yeah, we got to make sure we get our brother the representation that he needs. So anyway, I love and appreciate every last one of y'all. Fontez, how you doing? You says let's spend the Easter bunny money on getting our son out of jail. You know what? I love it. I love it. Caitlin, how you doing? Says thank you for sharing the donation link. Made a donation, and thank you so much. Everybody donated. Love, love, love you. Black, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. So we're gonna get out of here, y'all. See y'all on Tuesday. Y'all be well in the process. I might come on here tomorrow. I'm not sure. We'll see, but if I do, I will. Peace.